What up, world? It's your man E.L.I. Soundz in the building again. Before we get started, I want to say thank you for taking some time to spend with me throughout the day so we can have some fruitful conversations and have something that we and others can build on uh, throughout the future to help make us better people and help expand our mindset. So let's get straight into it, man. Today I wanted to talk about the hip hop culture and rap and rappers. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of shade thrown on the term rapper or upcoming rapper in the last few years to where it's almost automatically negative as soon as you say it. Because there was a time where you would say, "Oh man, it's this rapper," or "Man, did you hear that rapper?" Or "Man, they got these rappers out," and things of that nature. But now when people say it, I'm more so hearing it like, "Man, these rappers, man, it's some rapper, man, he trying to be a rapper. You know, this rapper, that." It's so negative. It changed. And one of the only cultures that we have, the black, quote unquote black, indigenous people here in the United States and abroad too, but I'm just speak for where I'm at, is music culture, hip hop culture. That's our culture. It's one of the things that we have, and we have to protect it, as much as we can, and without not have, outside people come put their their twist on it, and have it get diluted or poisoned because the way people want to portray hip hop. So let's with that being said, let's speak on how lately it's been this way for a while, but lately it's really magnified, whereas it's almost like you got to be the toughest guy in the world or the biggest dope dealer to even be considered a good rapper. There was a time where the only thing that mattered was the art itself. How can you put your words together? What's the message that you conveying? How do I feel when I hear your song and things like that? But these days it's more like, I want to hear you say something that pretty much gonna break the law, and I want to know that you really doing it. And so with the rise of social media, it's really taking a whole new life to where man, it makes you, man, for somebody who's been in hip hop for a long time, man, it makes you, for me, I'm like, man, I love hip hop, I love the music, I love the culture, but seeing where it's going is just like, man, I just, as you can see, it's kind of hard to put it into words, because there's so many things that I feel about it, but in the end, I know that this is just a phase. Hip hop is very young. Hip hop's not even 50 years old yet, so it's just a phase. And it's a lot of people who really have a good mindset. A lot of people who have experience. A lot of people who see where it's going, and they, we speaking up, on behalf of hip hop, because the direction it's going in. It just seems that when it comes to rap, it seems like if you're not out there trapping, you're not selling, you're not doing hits and doing all things like that of that nature, then you're not a real rapper. And it's like, no, real is being what you say you are. That's what makes you real. And this whole the whole labels and all that stuff, like that stuff get blown out of proportion, because none of that really matters unless someone is speaking on the artist, like, yo, this artist said this, they said that, and it affected me this way or that way, and I can really relate to that because that's real. That's something that I've seen in my life. That's when that stuff matters. It's gone to a point now where it's just, yo, I'm real, and all these phrases that they feel like they just can repeat and say it in such an aggressive manner. You try to make themselves come off a certain way, like it's been a process with me learning how to speak to a camera. I just talking to a camera like it's a person, because sometimes you get to scrolling and you see people talking to these cameras like they're really talking to a person, man. Like, bro, you talking to a phone, right? Like, yeah, it's people on the other end of that, but you putting out this energy, the way you speaking, and everybody can see that. And obviously, we know you're doing it for a reason. But what people typing in or saying to you shouldn't even, man, it shouldn't even get you all in your, get you all in your defensive bag like that. But it does, and people all feel like they always need to portray or say something about how hard they are or how good of a protector they are. Like, I get it, you gotta have that side in you. Nobody's saying don't have that side, but I'm just saying how it's so magnified to where that's where they're trying to make the art be. If you're not doing that, you're not a dope artist. You're not a hard artist. You're not solid. You're not this. You're not that. When that is way far from the case. Um, like I'll use myself as an example. I'm not one of those artists. Like, I don't threaten people in real life. I'm not about to be running around here threatening nobody. I'm not saying nothing about what's gonna happen. None of that. I don't do none of that. So I'm definitely not gonna do it in a track. Cause to me, it's real easy to talk gangster and talk threats to an imaginary person. And that's what a lot of people doing. And then you get people who wanna, check your temperature and see what you about. So then now you want to feel offended like they testing your gangster, when really, I mean, you putting it out there as if you just the hardest, the toughest, and that's all you want to do is prove how tough you are. And that's not really what it's about, man. When the time comes to be defensive and protect your own and hold your own, then that's when all of that stuff comes about, and really ain't no talking about it then. So the way all this has been magnified has put up such a bad light on rappers, man. Again, it's all on how people perceive the person and the perception of it. So I wanted to speak on that, and I wanted to highlight how it's a time for a change and it's time to refocus on certain things in hip hop, because hip hop there's no way hip hop can be the most influential culture out here today if it didn't have a whole lot of positives to it. You get where I'm going? It's almost like a lot of other groups of people see the positives in hip hop and they capitalize on that, and they try to keep us, like a lot of the black artists try to keep us stuck on this lane. You got to be hard, you got to be tough, you got to be this, you got to be that. Where it's like the message has just got lost. And I, for one, like, I like all types of music. I like all type of the rap and the hip hop. So I'm not out here acting like I'm holier than thou or none of that. I myself, back in the days, I was talking crazy on records, saying things. I was never one to be, dissing people, dead homies, and having beef on records or nothing like that. But I was one of the ones who, I would say certain things on tracks to emphasize or let it be known my stance on certain things. But as I grew and I come to understand that your words can paint a picture for your future. I became a lot more careful with what I was saying. And then also, it's like you learn more stuff as you go along. So it's like if you write something down about yourself and you're saying it over and over and over, you're casting spells upon yourself. And we can go to countless artists who were doing that exact thing, man, and they're not here anymore. And then you have other artists who might have done that a little bit, but they have other songs where they're exposing or showing you that, yeah, I came from this and I said I'm gonna get out of this. I came from this predicament or position and I said I'm gonna get out of it. This is how I'm getting out of it. This is where I'm at with it right now. You see that a lot. But again, the things that people want to magnify and focus on seems to be, the violence, and the toughness. Um, but again, we also have to understand, that a lot of times that's what people want to hear. You want to hear something interesting. It's like, if an artist isn't headline worthy, it's gonna take a while for people to catch on to them. You gotta have a banging song that's hard, that everybody rocking with, that you're gonna come across, or it's gonna be something that has nothing to do with the music that's gonna bring your attention to that person, meaning, i.e. headline worthy, and then you may start listening to their stuff. And I say that to say that we have a lot of artists who really have been putting out great music, great concepts, great messages, and they don't get the push. I see people on social media say we need more artists who speak this way, or more artists who speak that way, and half of those people don't even post artists like that when they post an artist, and if they do post an artist like that, it's not that they're posting them because they listen to their music. They posting them because they say something good, and they want to put it on their social media to show, hey, look, I like this right here, but are you riding around to it though? Are you actually listening to that though? Like, are you really supporting it, or are you pretending that you're supporting that type of stuff? Again, this is why I started off by speaking on the fact of what I listen to, what I like to listen to, and the things that I've done as an artist. I've been one of those motivational, thought, forward thinking artists for years now. I actually walk what I talk though. So, having a family over the years, my focus really, I fell back from the music, but I didn't completely drop out of it. Like, I stayed in loop. I would still do songs and do certain things throughout the time, and stuff would come up. So I would jump on it in between. No, I didn't have, the necessary funds to push it. I didn't have the necessary time to market and do all these certain things, but at least I stayed in the loop to keep, to be able to keep my blade sharpened. And as my children got older, man, they started hearing what I was doing. They was surprised, like, Daddy, you did this, you do this, Dad. Why you ain't doing the music now? Stuff like that. So now I'm jumping back into it. They're older. I'm not having any more children. So, you don't have to spend so much time transitioning, from a newborn up until, a young child. But I'm saying all that to say, yeah, because there's a lot of artists out here who are in it for the art. People feel like, if you're not on TV all the time, or everybody ain't talking about you, then you're not an artist. When that's obviously not the case. It's like our genre is one of the most scrutinized, imaginary rule putting on ass culture. You know what I'm saying? Everybody coming up with these imaginary ass rules that need to be followed because they feel a certain way. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Ain't nobody really trying to hear all that. But yeah, I don't want to be rambling and all that good stuff. So let's close on out, and I want to close out with this. So based off of all what we just talked about, the way that we really gonna make a change is paying attention to what we give our attention to. Really focusing on our self-programming. I like to use myself as an example because I'm not really about pointing the fingers like that. So if I know I like to listen to certain music that, promotes, genocide, or, just wrongdoing in the community, I know that for the most, I only like that because I want to hear a certain vibe or something I relate to because of my past. It's like, who I was is a part of me. I'm not that person anymore, but it's still a part of me, so I'm still going to be able to relate. But it's also a lot of music that, I listen to that don't have any of that. You know, it's just a great vibe, great music, and I know that giving more attention to that type of music helps to helps to helps to broaden the horizon a little bit more, you know, basically, because like I said, it feels like everything's all down to, you know, violence and genocide and you know, tearing down your community when it within rap, when it never started that way. You know, speaking on it doesn't mean that that's what somebody consistently wants to be doing. If it's your reality and you speaking on it, then it is what it is, man. So yeah, I wanted to share that angle, share my mindset on that, and just highlight that and open some conversation in the comments, you know, because you know somebody's always gonna have something to say, and that doesn't necessarily, I'm not necessarily saying that in a negative way. I'm like, somebody's always gonna have something to say. You add to the conversation, you add to the dialogue, and you know we can pivot and go from there and jump on that. And somebody may even bring something up that I didn't even think about. So this is why I said I appreciate y'all taking some time out so we can build and have fruitful conversation. But again, I'm gonna close it out here. You know, we're gonna get better and better every time. I'm getting used to talking to a camera. You know, I'm not really, you know, if you really want to get to, sometimes you want to, when you want to get to the next level, you're gonna have to do things you don't want to do. And one of the things that I haven't been wanting to do for the longest is get on the camera and just be running my mouth. So it took me a while to be able to speak to a camera consistently and have a point that has a message be my foundation of speaking. But we here now, we got it. Again, it's your man E.L.I. Soundz. You know, I produce, I rap, I write, I work on animation, graphics, all that good stuff. Yes, I am definitely a stereotype driller. I definitely drill stereotypes, you know. So that's my thing. So yeah, until the next time, man. Peace, salute, love, light, man.